Hi everybody, I'm Jacob Castro and welcome to another video here on Jacob's Aquarium. Today we're at Age of Aquariums in Long Beach, California for another amazing store tour. We're going to head on into Age of Aquariums, talk to one of the employees that's going to give us a little history about Age of Aquariums, and it's going to be a very fun episode here on Jacob's Aquarium. The Age of Aquariums store tour starts right now.
Hi, my name is Michael Gonzalez and I work at Age of Aquariums. I'm a sales associate here and basically help run the aquarium shop and make everything look good.
So when did Age of Aquariums open their doors?
About 15 years ago. We started the service company about 15 years ago, and about 7 years ago we opened up the store here, and that's when we really started to expand as a company. Before, the owner, Dan, he used to work strictly out of his house in Long Beach, just servicing people's aquariums, and then about 7 years ago he opened up this retail store with a lot of great fish and different products to help expand his company.
Okay. Age of Aquariums is a pretty cool name. Is there anything behind that, or?
Obviously behind the song Age of Aquarius. Our recent logo, Age of Aquariums, I helped work on the newest version of it, help stand out the age portion of the name, since it's so iconic and memorable for people just to really affiliate the Age of Aquarius song with this company. It's very easy to affiliate us with that.
Okay. So do you guys also install tanks or do custom installations for people?
Of course, yeah, we can take custom sizes of aquariums depending on the customer's needs. Basically, any tank that you can dream of, we'll do the best that we can to make it a reality.
And in your opinion, what was the most largest lavish tank that you guys have installed?
One that we've installed, we did a huge install where we did about 10 or so 100-gallon plus jellyfish tanks for this really big client for a birthday party, and I helped install that, and that was a huge project, and working overnight to help make sure the jellyfish are nice and safe, retrofitting the tanks to make sure that they'll be safe too, since we had to make the tank a little bit different than what would be normal for a jellyfish system. But that was probably the most extensive and time-consuming project we have to work on.
Okay. And so what areas does the maintenance company serve, like as far as here in Long Beach? Do you guys go to, like how far does that reach?
It reaches pretty far. I've heard some of our services reaching as far as like San Juan Capistrano area. So we do have a broad range, and plus we do have our online store, so anything that you're willing to buy, like in terms of the livestock, corals, we do ship that stuff too, so we do online sales as well.
And about how many customers does the maintenance company cater to?
That's hard to say. We have a weekly list of different customers that they go through, and plus we have new customers coming in all the time, asking us when they can set up service accounts and things like that. The numbers I can't quite give you. There's a lot of people right now. The numbers are still growing.
Okay, so if people want to set up a maintenance schedule or service with you guys, how would they go about doing that?
Just first of all, just give us the details about the system that you have, whether it's a freshwater, saltwater, reef system, whatever it is, just to give us the rundown about the specifics. And then just let us know your time frame, like how often you'd want us to come out and service the aquariums. Because we're here to cater you guys. So basically, if you let us know what you're after, we'll do our best to make sure we meet those needs.
How many species of fish do you guys offer, and do you guys do fresh and saltwater?
Yes, we do have a variety of both fresh and saltwater, of both different types of community and aggressiveness. A lot of the saltwater stuff here, we're primarily a saltwater store, so we like to keep a lot of fish that are mostly reef safe. That way you can have a nice, happy ecosystem with your reef tank. But we do carry a good amount of larger, more aggressive fish for those people who are more into like fish-only systems, fowler systems. Also, we have our new planted systems. We're starting to get really into the planted tanks. So we have a lot of nice community freshwater fish, but we're big on discus as well. But we do have a small selection of aggressive like cichlids and Oscars and things like that too.
And being a retail store here in Long Beach, have you noticed a big explosion as far as planted tank enthusiasts?
Huge explosion. Even in the reef tank industry alone, probably because of the recent movies like Finding Nemo and things like that. It really helps bring an emphasis on the ocean conservation and things like that. So we see a lot of people that are brand new to the hobby. And, we even sponsor a local reef club here, and there's people that have been completely new to the hobby, just getting into it, and they go through us, and then they're having some great success. But the key is patience, and if you can be patient with this hobby, then you're going to be golden.
Exactly. Okay, so do you guys get your stock as far as your fish, your plants, everything? Do you get that locally, or do you have that shipped in from other states, farms, or?
Most of the stuff that we get here is usually shipped in through like a wholesaler. We do get a lot of stuff like Bergie and nudibranchs. We do have a few people that actually breed them. So we still work with customers that actually do breeding. Like we've had some people that do breeding of clownfish, they brought them in as well. But most of the stuff that we carry here are either brought in directly from the ocean, brought to the wholesaler, or straight from the wholesaler.
About how many tanks do you guys have here to keep all that stock?
Shoot, that's hard to say. I don't know the exact number of tanks. We have 50 plus tanks right now, just in saltwater fish systems alone. Then we have our display tanks that house hundreds of different animals as well. So I would say at least like around the 70 tank range. That doesn't include all the ones that are in the backs where we harvest all of our corals and things like that too, and our fish quarantine systems and stuff.
And as far as filtration, I know you guys have system tanks, but what type of filtration systems do you guys utilize for the system tanks?
For our saltwater systems, we are heavy with protein skimming. A lot of nutrient export is key. Basically, if you're putting a lot of nutrients into the tank, make sure you're always exporting high amount of nutrients at the same time. That is key with our saltwater sections. But with freshwater, it's just mostly water changes and stable parameters that keep everything nice and safe.
And as far as your dry goods, do you guys offer pretty much everything, or do you have an emphasis on just filtration and stuff like that?
We carry a wide range of different products, everything that you need to start up your own system, your own aquarium, whether it's saltwater or freshwater, reef or not reef. Either way, we have all the equipment to get you started. If there's something specific that you'd like that we don't necessarily have, we can definitely order it for you and get it in no time.
And last couple of questions here. Tell us a little bit about this planet tank. When you guys did this one, about how many different species of plants are in here as well?
Species of plants, there's at least like 15. Basically, we started this system about, it's going on maybe close to 7 months now. It's 750 gallons. It used to be our shark tank. When we first started up the store, we had a few big shark sales. And then ever since the very first shark sales that we had, it kind of diminished. So we kind of took this tank in a different direction to where it helped cater our needs. We're kind of emphasizing the beauty of a freshwater system, not only a saltwater system. But it's still relatively young, and it's still cycling. Regular maintenance, about once or twice a week, we just do a small, like maybe 10%, 20% water change. But everything else is taken care of by the fish and the plants. So this is a very easy tank to keep for.
Oh yeah. The planet tanks seem to be the most easiest because the plants act as a natural filter. Do you agree?
Exactly, yeah. All their root systems really help absorb all the nutrients that are getting deposited by the fish.
All right, and last question, where can people find you here in Long Beach?
We're located on the corner of Cherry and Willow in Signal Hill, California. We're open every day of the week. Saturdays and Sundays we are open and closed an hour early and later. So basically you can find us anytime. Feel free to give us any calls if you have any questions, whether if you've come with us or not. Basically we'll answer any of the questions that you have, and we'll be here to help you create the tank that you're looking for.
All right, well, thank you very much. We're going to take a look around now and give everybody a nice tour of everything that you guys have here at Age of Aquariums.
Thank you so much. All right, thank you.
Okay, so Michael's going to show us around the store. We're going to start here on the right side of the store. So tell us a little bit about this room, what is in here and things like that.
This is our dry goods room. This is where we have most of our dry products and filtration needs and filters and bacteria products, anything that you need basically as equipment. We have power plugs, but we also have display tanks back here too. A lot of freshwater stuff. We do have the Eheim Aqua Style series here. We're just showcasing all different sizes, the smallest up to the biggest one. But we do have 2 small planet systems here. We like to showcase the fact that you don't need a whole lot to actually keep a really beautiful aquarium, and that's what these tanks really emphasize for us here. There's nothing else to them, especially with this one, other than the light and the filtration and the heater. Everything else, what makes the plants look so good is the waste that the fish produce and how they're processing that waste.
Okay. And as far as the lighting, what kind of lighting system do we have here?
These are the Eheim lights that work with the Eheim Aqua Styles. They have a specific bracket that they use to hold up their lights and give them the power. Okay. They do have 2 versions. This is the planet version and then the marine version. So obviously they're both tailored to both systems. The freshwater one works perfectly. It's in the right spectrum. It's right what you need to get started.
And this is all this is all one unit as far as like the filter and the light, or?
Yeah, the Eheim Aqua Styles, they come with the filter, the light, and then the tank. You just have to get a heater and then all the stuff to go inside it.
Okay. And as far as the plants, what kind of plants do we got in here?
Some easy growing plants. We have some pennywort. We got some mosses. We have some dwarf anubias. All stuff that don't really need CO2. Because once we get into CO2, that's when we get into the harder to keep plants, and
right.
Plus that it really brings out their color once you start adding CO2 and the liveliness of your fish too.
It's a beautiful little tank. I'd love to have one of these.
Oh yeah,
it's a perfect like desktop aquarium or
exactly.
Like that, huh?
It's small enough to where you can keep it on a little desk in your office or something like that.
All right. And does this price include the entire system right here, the $200?
Yeah, this price here is $297 for the tank system alone.
Okay.
But if you pay an extra $100, you get the stand with it too.
Oh, perfect price.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a great deal, and it's a really nice stand too.
Yep, and the tanks are really well built. It's by Eheim. All the filters, the filter media that they keep with it too, is ideal for planet systems.
You got this nice curved glass. I love the curved edges.
Exactly.
It kind of mimics the acrylic aquariums. That's something you miss out on with most glass tanks. They're just a straight edge, right?
Exactly. Yeah. If you're still looking for that kind of warped edges, something that you usually get in acrylic, then either go for the Eheims or even like the all-in-one systems. The all-in-one systems usually have bent glasses, except for the new Innovator Marines. The new Innovator Marines are just straight flat panes now. They're not really doing the bent glass. But the JBJ models, we carry a lot of them now, and we still have some
right
of
here?
the planet systems set up.
That's these right here?
Yeah.
Okay.
These are the all-in-ones. This is the 45 model. Basically just has all the filtration for you built into the back, so it hides all of your equipment for you.
Oh.
And what's great is we set these up as planet systems over here too, to really showcase the potential of these tanks.
Okay. And then filtration systems. So what different brands do we have here? I see Hydor. I actually have one of these on my planet tank as well. Great filter, by the way.
It is, yeah.
So tell us a little bit about the different brands of filters you guys have.
For canister filters, we have mostly the Eheims and the Hydors. We do have some of the smaller Zoomeds for smaller nano tanks. But we find that these brands here, they seem to be the most reliable and the quietest especially too. Plus they're jam-packed with good filtration media too.
This one I've noticed I actually have the 450 version, and it is super quiet. And I think it's mostly because the impeller spins on a ceramic shaft and it doesn't touch the edges, so it's just super quiet. It's a great filter.
Exactly. Yeah, you want to get the most reliable filters that you can find. Sometimes that means spending a little extra money, but I mean down the long road you're going to be saving a lot of money instead of having to buy replacement filters and things like that.
Exactly. So over here we have all the filter pads, filter media, right?
We have the cartridges for the hang-on back filters, the APIs, the Hydors.
Some Hydor stuff right here.
Yeah, those are the Hydor medias for the canister filters. We don't like to use a whole lot of the hang-on-the-back models, but in certain applications they do work well. So we do carry their stuff.
Okay. About how many different brands of biomedia and just media do we have here?
We have at least 4 different brands right now. All of them are within the same kind of standards that we have in terms of reliability and easiness. Just that way it makes it easier for the hobbyists, so they don't feel stressed out, or it deters them from actually enjoying the hobby.
Exactly. Okay, so we'll move on down here, and we got some fake plants here and some lighting systems. Do you guys sell the appropriate lighting for planted tanks as well?
Oh yes, we have a bunch of different brands of lights. We have aquatic light, we have the ATI bulbs, we have Coral Life, we have some of the Aquarium bulbs as well. But a lot of the LEDs, we do have like the Aquatic Life edges. We have the build your own LEDs. Yes, the new LEDs that they've came out for Aquatic Life. They're mostly T5 systems, but the new LEDs are pretty good. They're better off for planted systems. And if you're going to use them for a reef system, you're basically ending up just doing soft corals, nothing too hard to keep. But other than that, we find LEDs work really well for our planted systems. We have mostly LEDs over all of our planted tanks here.
This one right here too.
We have the Kessels over this one here. We have a mixture of eco, exotic, and build your own LEDs on this one. We have the Eheims. Over our big planted display, we have 8 different Sea Star LEDs, strips, on top of a 12 bulb 8 Aquatic Life T5 fixture too. Okay. So there's a lot of light over those systems, and that's the key for planted systems. If you have a lot of light,
especially for foreground plants too, highlighting is
those guys need a lot of light. Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about the Kessler lights, because I've heard a lot of really good things about these lights. What is your opinion on this light for planted tanks?
Kessels are by far one of my favorite LEDs that they have out there. Not necessarily for a marine application. For marine applications, it would just be mostly LPS stuff, just like before. But for planted systems and freshwater, it's absolutely great. It's very low profile. You get that great shimmering effect from the LEDs, very bright. You can actually dial in the intensity and kind of the different color spectrum as well. So we've just dialed it in perfectly to where these plants are just starting to really thrive.
Yeah, and I was really surprised too, because most LED lighting systems for planted tanks are usually like a strip, but this is one system, and it does a great job of spreading out the light over the plants.
Exactly. For this size of a tank, one Kessel will do just fine.
That's amazing.
And if you get any longer, then you basically are going to have to start adding more units. But what's great about this, it allows us to keep it nice and open too, so we don't have a lot of heat getting trapped inside the tank. Plus, these are extremely quiet. No heat basically is being produced. They have built-in fans. They have you can buy these little elbows and these gooseneck arms to have it bracketed back on the back of the tank. But there's no downfall I can really say about these lighting systems.
Yeah, they seem like a great light. Do you guys sell these here? And if so, for how much?
The Kessels go around like $350 to $400. They're kind of expensive, but they're great lights.
Well, it's definitely worth it, because the output is it's a good light.
Exactly. Now the gooseneck would be a different add-on. It would not come with the light itself. But it is a great addition. They do come with these little brackets that actually are attached to the light, so you can mount them in terms of like a canopy system. You can kind of mount them that way. But it's better off where you keep it nice and open and have this little gooseneck effect.
It's more flexible. You can adjust it.
Exactly. It's very flexible. You can keep it as low to the surface as you want. But with LEDs, we tend to have them much higher up because of how intense they are.
It's a great light, and it's a beautiful tank. I like the Pogo Stem Hellfairy down here, and the Startigen Repens, and I think that's Christmas moss.
Yeah, it's flame moss.
Flame moss, right?
Yeah.
Those are beautiful plants, and this is a huge carpet. I really haven't seen a carpet of that in person. It looks absolutely beautiful.
Exactly. Yeah, it's really filled in just in the past couple weeks, really.
Oh, it's grown that fast?
Yeah,
wow.
Just because we've really been battling a lot of the hair algae issues.
Oh, yes.
That's usually what you battle when you're doing a planted system, trying to make everything nice and vibrant and crisp. You usually just have to fight the algae.
Yeah.
But we finally beat the algae, and now everything is starting to really take off, and started taking off in the past couple weeks.
Well, yeah, you definitely have. I don't see any specks of algae, so I mean, it's definitely just been eliminated.
Exactly.
And that's one thing my viewers seem to ask me a lot about, since my channel is mostly about planted tanks, is like, how do I beat algae? So what is your recommendations as far as how to beat algae in the beginning, because it's pretty much part of the startup process, right?
Yeah, exactly. If you set up everything correctly to begin with, then you're better off in the long run. Huge thing for success is the soil that you use. If you use proper soil instead of just basic gravel, those soils have great beneficial nutrients for your plants, and that really helps bring out their vibrancy and the effectiveness that they can process the waste instead of algae processing that waste. And plus, all the cleanup crew that we have in there is key. We have a lot of shrimp in there. We keep throwing more and more shrimp to really help.
I can see some shrimp. And are these Siamese algae eaters or Chinese algae eaters?
Yeah, those are the Siamensis.
Okay.
We have a lot of those in there, really small guys. We do have a lot of the bigger guys in the bigger system there. But your cleanup crew is really what's going to take care of the algae for you. And plus, regular maintenance in terms of water changes. We do regular water changes at least once a week on this thing. Mostly just using straight RO. So we don't have any cross-contaminants through tap water or anything like that too.
With using the RO water, do you find that you have to add certain things back into the water to make it healthy for the plants, like as far as different minerals or things like iron and stuff? Because it's kind of lacking that, or do you not have a problem with it?
Not necessarily like the elements that are in it. Like in certain plant systems where you're not using as intense light or CO2 systems, and yeah, you can use tap water, where it has a lot of those nutrients in it for you. But when you're dealing with more sensitive plants, it's better off to use just straight RO. And then when you're injecting CO2, it helps balance out the pH in the tank.
Oh, okay.
And that's usually what you're battling with RO, is just pH balances.
Okay. Now, I know you guys have some tanks for sale in here. How many tanks can people expect to find for sale here at Age of Aquariums, and what's the size range?
You're going to look for at least maybe 10, 15 tanks, at least in the back room here. We do have a extra storage facility nearby too, and if we have a tank that we know that is meeting the same specifics that you want, then we can probably grab it real quick. But other than that, we mostly have the all-in-one systems because they're great startup systems, great startup tanks. But we do carry the like the Vizio glass tanks and acrylic tanks as well. But again, if you have anything that you want custom built, we can do that for you. And we get it in a pretty timely manner too. We get it pretty quickly.
That's really cool. Okay, so let's go ahead and move out on into, what would you call this area of the store right here?
This is the main showroom floor, I would guess we can call it, where we're starting up new systems. We have most of our display tanks ready for everybody. But other than that, it's just basically where we can check out everybody, have a lot of extra products like food and fish ready for you guys.
Okay. All right, so we're in front of the big planet tank here at the store. Walk me through this system, substrate, plants, lighting. Tell us a little bit about it.
Basically, compared to what I said before about substrate, we're actually using basic art gravel with this system here. We have them in a few of our planet tanks here. And it works really well, but like I said before, and if you have the proper soil, it can give you really beneficial nutrients for your plants. But that being said, we're still having great success in this size of aquarium just using basic art gravel.
Yeah, the plants are growing great, surprisingly.
It's a lot of the waste that's being produced by the fish, so we have a lot of fish in there. Plus, there's a lot of plants to process all that waste too at the same time. But same thing, basically straight RO water changes. Just do about this much, maybe once or twice a week. And then just wipe down the glass, but everything else is really taken care of by the fish and plants.
Right. I see some really nice, that's a big carpet, I guess you could say, of Java fern back there.
Yeah,
that's huge. And then we got some dwarf hair grass right here.
And hair grass is growing in really nicely.
More startage repens. It's just, wow.
The repens have really taken off in the past couple months. They've basically, our store owner, James, he's the one that planned and set this all up. Like we do group efforts to really maintain the entire store, but James is the guy that really plans out all these systems and works with the planet systems the most. So he's the guy to really pick his brain with.
All right, and so we got some discus in here as well. How many different species of fish do we got here? I see tetras and discus.
Well, we have a lot of discus in here. We're big discus guys, so we have about 11 different types of discus in here. We have black lyre-tail mollies. We have the Siamensis. We have rummy-nosed tetras. We have cardinal tetras. autosynclus, and then japonica shrimp. So there's not a whole lot of different species of fish in here, but they're all community-based and all working together to help create this nice ecosystem.
Okay, and I noticed you guys were injecting CO2 on that tank in there. Do you guys inject CO2 in this one as well?
Yes, you do. Yes, we are, but you don't see it because we use an atomizer, which connects it to our canister filter.
Oh, okay.
So all the CO2 is getting diffused through the canister filter instead of just bubbles ending up in the system.
So it's kind of like a little small unit that hooks up inline to the plumbing, and it just mixes it around and dissolves. Because I think I have the same thing. It's like a reactor. Right?
It basically turns your canister filter into a reactor.
Right.
It's really nice, and you don't see any micro bubbles coming into the tank, which is key to me. I don't like seeing bubbles in my tank.
It can really distort the view sometimes, huh?
Exactly. Yeah, it really takes away from the beauty of the rest of the tank. Sometimes it's very distracting.
Okay, now as far as lighting, can we take a look at the lighting up here? I'm really curious to see this. Looks like a big unit.
We have the same unit that's over the tier tank over there. Almost the same bulb combination in terms of the T5, but we have 8 different LED C-star strips sitting over the tank as well. So they're just kind of braced at the top there, and that's what's really lighting up the tank.
And so those are T5s, right?
Correct.
Okay, and what Kelvin rating are those?
We have a blend of 3 different bulbs. We have 4 of the 10,000K, 4 of the 6500, and then 4 of the Floramax.
Oh, the Floramax is what's good. Yeah,
So
those are those nice purple bulbs. Those are the ones for good like color intensity, right?
Exactly. Yeah, it really kind of pops out the colors of your fish and plants.
And you guys got some driftwood as well in here.
Yep.
Is that just like one piece right here, or is
that
all
one big piece?
Wow.
Yeah,
that's incredible.
That was a big pain to get it in there. We had
I bet.
to get 2 people inside the tank to help wedge it in there, because this is all acrylic, so it has the center bracing inside the tank too.
Right.
So it was kind of hard to kind of maneuver it in there, but we got it in there somehow.
And where did you guys get this big piece? Because I'm not sure of too many places that sell pieces that big.
I'm not sure off the top of my head, but
Okay.
James is the guy that got it, so
Okay.
we can talk to James if we ever get the chance.
It's a beautiful tank. You guys did a great job.
Thank you.
It looks really nice.
Yeah, we work on it every day, and feed these guys every day, but in terms of maintenance, it's very easy.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess we'll move on over here. What do we have in this tank right here?
This is mostly our anemone system, to where we keep most of our anemones, so it's easier for us to sell them for customers, because like what most people know, that they have a foot, and you have to massage the foot gently to release them, and if you tear the foot, you can kill the anemone.
Oh, really?
So basically, by having these ceramic pots with smooth surfaces, it allows us to scrape them off the pots really easily, so we don't have to take a whole lot of time to get them for everybody.
Okay. And do we got like a wave system going on here?
Yeah, we have one of the earlier Tunzi wave boxes on this system, so it's constantly creating that wave effect. That's pretty much all the filtration or the water movement besides the return lines that we have. We did have another circulation pump on there, but we don't like to keep it on there very often, so the anemones don't end up grinding themselves up.
Okay. All right, we'll move on over here. We got a nice big tank here and some really large fish. Tell us a little bit about this system right here.
This is just our big fish only system that we have here. It's about 200 to 300 gallons. It's fairly easy to maintain as well. A lot of these systems that we have here have kind of established themselves really well, so there's not a whole lot that we have to do. But we do have a protein skimmer over the system. Change that out. Filter floss with bio balls. Change the filter floss out, and regular water changes. And, but other than that, we just have a lot of really big fish that not a whole lot of people have.
I see that. So what kind of fish are these?
We got a Valmingi tang. We have a porcupine puffer. We got a spotted puffer. We have another.
Look at the size of my hand.
Yeah, he's bigger than your hand, but
Wow.
he's one of the most curious puffers I've ever seen. Like he'll come up to you every time that you're just looking at the tank.
But it's very social then, huh?
Exactly, they're very social animals.
Oh. What kind of fish is that right there? That one right there?
Yeah, it's a Valmingi tang.
Oh my gosh, the thing is huge.
Yeah, we had some smaller versions before, but they're nothing compared to that size.
Wow. So are all these fish for sale in here too?
Not necessarily for like as advertised for sale, but if
Okay.
somebody really wanted to buy one of these guys, we'll definitely try and get them out for him. But on the regular, there's no one really interested in such large fish. That's why we
Because
still
you
have
need such a
them here.
large tank, and that's a big investment, right?
Exactly. Yeah, you need a really big tank for these guys because they're already in a big system. So if they get put into a smaller one, they get stressed out a little bit.
Exactly. So we have some more dry goods over here.
This is where we keep all of our foods, whether it's dry food or the frozen food. We also have the liquid supplements for your reefs. But we have everything that we find is the best brands that brings out the best coloration in your fish and coral, plus the healthiness of your fish too.
I can see that you guys got Hikari. That's a very great brand. I fed this stuff to my goldfish when I did have goldfish, and they absolutely loved it. Brought out really good colors.
Exactly.
Is this all just for freshwater fish, or do you got some saltwater food here too?
Yeah, this is kind of a blend of both. Like this top section here is all freshwater really, and then down here is when you start to get into the saltwater. We have the New Life Spectrum pellets. Those guys are really great for both fresh and saltwater. And then we have the marine flakes by Omega 1. We carry their Omega 1 brand. We like the flakes for freshwater mostly. Other than that, it kind of breaks down and causes a lot of waste issues that we don't like to deal with. So we like to deal with the frozen food a lot. It has a lot more beneficial nutrients that we like to make sure that the fish are getting.
So what kind of food do we got in here, and how many different brands? I see quite a bit.
We have, let's see, we got the P. mysis in there. We have the H2O Life. We have the Hikari, and see, we have let's see what else. Not very many other ones. We have maybe 4 brands of frozen food, but we use the Hikari basically throughout the entire store.
Yeah, it's a great brand. I would do the same.
I use it at home as well. And
Yeah.
it's very reliable, very good food.
Yeah, so we got pretty much all kinds of frozen food for fresh and saltwater in here, right?
Correct.
Okay. All right, cool. Let's go ahead and move over here, and we'll start on these system tanks over here. I remember actually, being that we're right here, I wanted to ask you, I remember seeing this big tank on YouTube before on LA Fish Guy's YouTube channel.
Yep, this is the same one.
So what did this one used to be? Was it just like a frog tank, right?
It was a reef tank. Basically, we took it upon ourselves to start the system over. We just started this whole new project of revamping the system about like a week and a half ago. So in the next couple months or so, then you'll notice the tank will be completely different. We're going to do all acros, so it's all the hard stuff that we can really keep in this tank here. Bare bottom, a lot of flow, so we got the MP40s over there, and a lot of water movement, and we're going to change out the lights, everything's brand new again. So basically, a lot of the people that work here, we're very SPS oriented. It's a really hard coral to keep, so we're going to try and showcase that in this tank here. Instead of having it where it's a mix of LPS and SPS, we're just going to do primarily acros in there. Plus, this is going to be strictly a display tank, so we won't be able to sell any of the stuff out of here, but it's going to really showcase what we can do for with saltwater especially.
All right, cool. Okay, let's move over here. And so this is where pretty much the system tanks start, right?
Correct. This is where we keep most of our saltwater fish. This whole L section right here is where we keep most of our community kind of reef safe fish here. Makes it a little bit easier to identify and grab for people when they're looking for specifics. We also, these tanks are all connected through one sump system right behind that section there. Okay. We have 3 different sections that are all quarantined off, so we can kind of dose if we need to and if things get sick and stuff like that.
Oh, okay. Are these pretty much the same down here as far as, are they connected to this?
Yep,
system?
still connected to the same system, just different fish, just different tanks. Now we also like to showcase the fact that we do carry the live food. We do have live brine shrimp. We did have the algagen live pods and stuff like that, but we're working on getting better batches of that. But this is great for if you have really picky eaters in your tank that don't really want to eat. This helps bring out natural feeding and what's the word I'm looking for? Natural feeding behaviors in your fish. Instead of just having dead food floating around, they actually have to hunt for the food.
Because it's live and it moves around and they
exactly.
have to...
So this is great, and it's pretty cheap for a good sized portion that we give them. I like to throw this stuff in my sump a lot, just to replenish a lot of the pods in my tank.
Okay. Cool. Well, these are really nice tanks. Beautiful fish, by the way. Their colors look great. You guys are are obviously doing a great job as far as their health.
Thank you.
How many different species right here? And can you just maybe walk us through the different kinds?
Yeah, definitely. In this tank up here, we have mostly cardinals. So we have the Bangai and pajamas. We have, let's see, we have another cold tang in there as well. He's kind of hiding. We have the larger female lyre-tail anthias right there.
Those are beautiful.
Yeah, they're very beautiful. What's crazy about them is that the most dominant one, which probably is going to be that guy, is going to turn into the male.
Oh.
Females have that kind of lighter orange color to them. The males would get like a darker, almost purple color to them.
Oh, wow. We got some clownfish right here.
Yeah, we have a bunch of different species and colorations of clowns. We have the snowflake clowns. We have the blacker ice clowns. We have the naked clowns as well. Maroon clowns. We get all types of different types and body variations as well.
It's a great selection.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and move on over here too. I see another planet tank coming up. So tell us a little bit about this tank right here. I noticed you guys have the current USA lights. These are pretty nice.
Yeah, these are the same sea stars that we have over the big planet tank there.
Oh, okay.
These are a blend. This first one has a blend of the 6500 with the 10,000 and the blue LEDs, whereas the back one just has straight 6500K. So this first one's really helped bringing out the color of our rainbows. So this is basically our rainbow tank here.
Okay.
And most of our nicer rainbow fish here.
You guys got some nice plants in here too. Tell us a little bit about the plants and fish.
The plants are pretty much almost the same plants that you can see in there. We have Pogostamen erectus. We got the big tiger lotuses. But the mosses in there, mosses are getting really hard to come by nowadays. Mm-hmm. So some of the mosses in here, we're just letting it grow out so that we can start propagating it ourselves.
Right. I see you got some Rotella too. I have some of that in my tank as well.
It's really an easy plant to grow.
Oh yeah.
We have that guy in some of our non-CO2 injected tanks. This one is injected with CO2 as well.
Oh, cool. And you got some rainbow fish as well?
Yep.
Oh, really nice.
A lot of these even came from my roommate's tank too.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, we'll move on over here. And we got some more system tanks over here.
So this is the other this is system 2 of saltwater. Basically, this is where we keep most of our semi-aggressive to aggressive fish, where you can keep them in basically fowler or fish-only systems. But some of these will actually do well in reef systems as well. Like you got chevron tanks, you got some maroon clowns as well.
That's a really beautiful one. Right there, what's the name of that guy?
That guy right there is a French angel.
Wow.
We used to have a really big French angel, and this is still a juvenile. He still has his juvenile stripes on him. As he gets bigger, he's going to lose those stripes and get just massive.
Yeah. And are these fox face?
Yes, they are.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm not really too familiar with the saltwater, so I'm trying to remember. What's the name of these guys? I've seen some of these on the show Tanked.
Yeah, it's a fox face, basically rabbit fish.
Okay. And then we got some, these are triggers, right?
Yep. Okay. We got a pink tail in there. We have a gold heart and a red tail as well.
Okay. And up here we got maybe some more clowns and stuff.
Yeah, we have one maroon clown in there. Beautiful chevron tang, Midas blennies, and the flameback angels.
Wow. Very, very colorful. They're just, the colors look amazing. Wow. Okay, so over here, got some, those are cardinals, right?
Yeah, just the blue-green chromies.
Oh, chromies, yeah.
We got a hogfish, we got the Clarkey clowns in there. Got some more really nice designer angels in there. We got the, let's see what else. We got flame angels on this side. We got blue jaw triggers. We got lionfish as well. Anything you want, we usually can get them.
You guys got a nice selection of driftwood for planet tanks and rock, and
yeah, we are starting to really stock a lot of the manzanita wood, so you can start creating those kind of tree effects in planet systems. Just kind of what we got going on in that one in the back. It allows you to really just tie mosses to it and kind of create what almost looks like a little bonsai tree.
Yeah, very cool. Really nice selection of. What are these fish right here?
Those are azure damsels.
Okay.
They get kind of semi-aggressive, so a lot of people like to use these as starting fish for their aquariums, but we kind of recommend them to stay away from that because more often than not, they want to get rid of them towards the end of the time. So just because of how aggressive they can get.
Okay. And what's that one right there? That kind of circular pattern one.
That's a juvenile Imperator angel.
Wow,
Same thing with the French angel. It's still juvenile, so it's going to outgrow that color pattern that he has right there.
You got some, those are blue tangs, or people like to call them Dory, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and the Dories and the Nemos, we get those people a lot.
I think Finding Nemo's really helped the aquarium industry. Do you agree?
It really has. It not in certain cases it brought out mostly awareness about what's happening with the wild and how delicate these animals really are. So, kind of help these people just want to keep them, you know, and that's what we're here to do. We're trying to make sure that people have the most success in keeping their fish.
Cool. So we'll move on down here. And is this where pretty much well, I think we got some more saltwater to go over right there, but we got some freshwater here.
Yep. Now we're on the freshwater side of the store. We have basically sectioned off. We have a saltwater and freshwater side. This whole area over here is mostly the community based. So a lot of these fish in these systems here go great with your planted tanks. On the other side, we have mostly aggressive stuff and semi-aggressive.
You guys got some goldfish down there too. Do you have a lot of people coming in for goldfish?
Recently, we're starting to get some more people that want the goldfish. We don't carry any of the feeders though, so you have to go to either like Petco or PetSmart for any of those guys. But we carry a lot of the nicer looking goldfish here.
Okay. And this system over here really caught my eye. So I'm assuming this is where you guys keep all your aquatic plants for sale, right?
Yeah, for sale we keep them out here in this little tier tank. It's all connected through a sump system with very minimal, mostly biological filtration, dealt with mostly even with the plants. But this is where we showcase most of the plants for sale. Some of the plants in the display tanks are for sale, but most of them are not.
Right.
But we also have a greenhouse in the parking lot where we are growing most of these plants ourselves to where we can harvest them without having to constantly go to the wholesaler and stuff like that. Yeah.
So you guys got a really nice selection of plants. I see Liguidia and Hygrophila and a really nice selection. What seems to be the most popular plant that people come in for?
A lot of people recently are coming in for more foreground stuff. Unfortunately, those ones are a lot harder to keep unless you're using CO2. But a lot of the Anubias, temples, swords, all those guys go like wildfire. They go really quickly here.
Okay. And so you guys said you have discus for sale. So do you sell the discus out of that tank or just mostly here?
Yeah, we do sell those ones out of there, but those ones, because of how big and how designer they are,
They need some space, huh?
They need space, and they're much more expensive than these ones. But these are where we carry most of just our basic discus up for sale.
And the colors look really great. That one looks really pretty.
Yeah, the breeder that we get our discus from actually acclimates his discus to mostly tap water. So it's not just strictly RO. So it's perfect for us to acclimating these guys to our systems here.
Okay, cool. So we'll head on down here. And what would you call this part of the store? Just like the end?
Yeah, just basically an end cap.
Okay.
Basically stuff that we couldn't really fit in the back section over there, just kind of fits over here. This is mostly our cleaning section. You got algae pads and scrubbers, siphons as well. And then on this side is kind of the same thing. You got nets, pads that go on the outside of your magnets, and then other maintenance tools like tongs and tweezers and things.
Very cool. Okay, so a nice selection of stuff to clean your tank over here. And then some more freshwater over here, right?
Yep, this is the end of our freshwater sections here. Just like with saltwater, these are all connected in one sump system. But this is a system here. All these tanks here, all 5 of these, those 5 are all connected. And same with this side too.
Okay. Do you guys carry pretty much all the different varieties of cichlids?
We don't have a big selection, but we do have what I think is a pretty good selection of cichlids for the space that we have.
Oh yeah.
We carry mostly the Africans, not a big diverse selection.
Okay.
We're mostly community based.
And these are all community freshwater fish over here, right?
Yeah. Some of them are semi-aggressive, like with the barbs, and some cichlids over there too.
You got some koi down there, or actually those are more goldfish, right?
Yeah, more goldfish and some koi in there as well.
Yeah, a nice selection of calicos and red caps and orandas. Really nice. A lot
Again,
of people
yeah,
watch.
we
A
like
lot
to
of people
keep
come to
it-
my channel for goldfish too, so I try to
goldfish?
try to
Perfect.
emphasis that. Yeah, because they'll probably come in asking for these once they
that's
see the
perfect
video.
because we don't carry any of the feeders. We like to keep all the nicer looking guys.
Yeah, and these look very healthy. I mean, when you come to most retail stores, the goldfish seem to be the ones that are like in more poor health, just because But seeing but seeing these here, you guys these look great. I mean, you guys do a great job. They look very healthy and vibrant and.
Exactly. We take really good care in all of our products that we have here, whether it's freshwater or saltwater. We really want to make sure we keep these guys nice and safe. So basically, in the long run, the customers don't come back to us complaining that their fish die.
Exactly.
But basically now that instead of them saying that, oh, our fish died, we can just tell them, like, well, what's the problem? We can fix it and kind of zero in on what the issue was.
Exactly. Okay. So last but not least, we got some frag corals over here. Tell us a little bit about all these systems.
Now these are our small quarantine kind of systems here, where we keep like small feather dusters and other really showcase certain wrasses that are really designer. But these are mostly our frag sections here. This tank here is mostly SBS, all SBS frags. Over there we have the bargain section where it's a mix between $5, $10, and $20 frags. And then on the right we have the mix of mostly LPS stuff.
Okay. So you guys have a pretty good selection. Is there like a more popular coral that people come in for, or is it just all?
We have basically a broad range of different coral selections that people have. We have people that are really into zoanthids. We have a few people that are really into SPS and acros. We basically have everything for any type of reefer that we have out there.
You guys got Castro lights on these tanks too?
Yeah, for the LPS systems, we have all Kessel lights over them, the marine Kessels. So we have 4 of them on this system here, and then 2 of them on the bargain section. But for the SPS, we have all T5s over them. We find that SPS do well with that full spectrum kind of T5 look, or metal halide kind of look, instead of the spotlighting LED bright look.
Okay. So that's pretty much the retail store. I know you guys mentioned you have a greenhouse. Could we possibly get a look at that? Okay.
If you'd like, we can even show you the back room too.
Okay, and we can take a look at the back room now.
Back here, but this is where we keep basically all of our big colonies and showcase frags that we want to either save for the shows.
Okay.
Because we go through all of the Reefapalooza, Max, all those different shows that they have out there. So all these 4 tanks we have here are just riddled with different types of species of frags and monoporas, acros, things like that.
Are these T5 lights as well?
All T5 lighting over all of these systems in the back here.
Oh, this is incredible. It's a really big selection of frags. Wow.
Yeah, if you're interested, just to take a look. We can't sell a lot of the stuff out of these tanks here because we're trying to save them for the shows and things. But we can just allow you to take a look back here and just take a gander at it.
So these are primarily just for the shows you guys do. These aren't actually available in the retail store, right?
When they do grow out and we get enough frags of a certain coral, then we will actually put them out in the frag sections out in front and sell them. But a lot of since Reefapalooza is coming up this month, we're actually trying to keep as much of the stuff as we can so we can use it for the show.
Okay, cool. Go ahead and look on back here.
And back here is where we have most of our quarantine tanks, where we keep all of our sick fish and fish that we just get just to monitor them before we put them out for sale. These are our new systems we just installed. We got some more over here as well.
Okay. Wow. That's really cool. got an emperor angel there too. That's pretty. All right, cool. I guess we'll go check out the greenhouse now. Okay, so Michael mentioned that they have a greenhouse here at Age of Aquariums, and you guys know I'm really big on aquatic plants, so I'm super excited to go check this greenhouse out and see what kind of plants are grown in here, as well as how they grow the plants, because I personally have never grown plants in a greenhouse, so I'm really curious, and I know you guys are too. So let's go ahead and head on into their greenhouse and check it out. All right, Michael, tell us a little bit about the greenhouse in here.
All right, so the greenhouse out here is where we're starting to really work mostly with our freshwater plants. As you can see, we have these 2 tanks here that are just jam-packed with all different species of plants right now. That's what these 2 tanks are here to help kind of relinquish some of that space, get some plants spread out a little bit more. But we used to have a lot of grow out tanks in the back here for saltwater, so we have kind of a mix of just arbitrary, just LPS stuff in here, and plus this is where we keep all of our live rock too.
Okay. Now, how many are these all fracs in here, or do you guys feed the tanks in there with this system, or?
This one gets a little bit different treatment just because these are just kind of arbitrary stuff that we've pulled out of people's tanks that aren't really the nicest stuff that we want to sell or anything, but we still want to keep them because they're corals and we want to make sure that they just don't die. But we have a blend of, like, we have some urchins in there, we have some torch corals, a lot of softies in here like zoanthids and mushrooms with a nice little peppermint clown in there too.
Okay, and I'm assuming since this is outdoors and we're in California, you guys probably don't have heaters in here, or do you? Or
there might be like one heater in there. Okay. If it is, it's probably not even running. So
right, because during the day, I think it gets pretty hot over here.
It gets pretty warm in here, yeah.
Yeah. So you guys got your live rock down there.
Yeah, we have two different live rocks. We have real reef rock, which is man-made and doesn't harm any of the reefs. Where we have this one, which is actually pulled from the reef. Both of them are different prices, like $5.49 a pound to $6.99 a pound. But what's nice about the real reef is you don't get any pests that would normally come in with actual live rock.
So as far as filtration systems, is it just pretty like generic, just skimmers and stuff?
Yeah, there's not a whole lot to this. It's just we have a closed loop system with just protein skimmers in them, just to kind of keep the bio load a little bit down.
Oh, very cool. It's a really cool greenhouse. Thanks for showing us.
Awesome. No problem.
Appreciate it. I think we didn't get a shot of this tank right here, but this is pretty cool. These plants are growing out of the water. That's
exactly, yeah. Yeah, once we get these tanks up and running, they're going to kind of get spread out and have their own little sections. But for now, this is where we're just kind of growing the extra stuff that we have right now.
And it's pretty much just a mix of different species, right? You're not focusing on one in particular? Or?
Yeah, nothing's focused yet. But I think once these guys get set up, then yeah, each of these tanks will have like a certain focus.
Okay, and you guys are dosing CO2 in here too?
Yep, for both of these, still using CO2 canister filters. This one does have a UV sterilizer inside it. I mean, I don't think a UV sterilizer is necessarily super necessary, but it does help keep the algae at bay.
Oh yeah.
So.
Well, really cool. Thanks for showing us.
Of course.
Michael, well, thank you so much for showing us around.
Thank you for having me.
I really appreciate it. Is there anything else you want to tell anybody about Age of Aquariums?
If you have an aquarium or you don't have an aquarium, come out and just check us out. And it's really cool just to see all the different livestock and creatures that we have here. Plus, all of our main displays are pretty sweet. If I don't want to toot my own horn, but they do look pretty nice. So come check us out.
Well, thanks again. I really appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining me here on Jacob's Aquarium for another amazing store tour. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I look forward to doing many more. So keep supporting the channel, keep liking the videos and subscribing. It really helps, and it'll help us do more of these store tours. And if you guys would like to come down to Age of Aquariums, they're located at 2642 Cherry Avenue in Signal Hill, California, and their number is 562-438-6252. And also, last but not least, I like to plug my website all the time just to let you guys know where you can buy stuff from me. If you'd like to buy plants from me, my website is jacobsaquarium.com. Thanks again for watching, everybody. I really appreciate it. Have fun with your tanks, and I'll see you next time.